So, how does music and camera movement change the mood of our films and videos? How can we give our footage a certain style or emotion? Well, in this video, I'm going to be shooting 3 sequences all at this location, all in completely different styles, and showing you exactly how. It's coming up. Hey everyone, Steve here from Learn Online Video, and today I'm at this incredible location in the southwest of England where I'm going to be showing you just how easy it is to change the style, mood and look of your videos by simply experimenting with music and camera movement. I'm going to be shooting 3 sequences at this location today. One will be big, epic, cinematic and film-like. The other one will be much more creative, happy and upbeat. And the final sequence will be dramatic and suspenseful. For simplicity, all 3 sequences will be shot on a phone, but use whatever camera you have. I'm going to be shooting a combination of handheld moves as well as using some basic accessories to achieve different looks and movements. Today's video is sponsored by Epidemic Sound. This is where I'm going to be getting all of my music and sound effects for today's shoot. If you'd like to join in at home by using the same music or any music for that matter, then I've put a link to a free trial to Epidemic Sound in the description below. But with all that out of the way, let's jump straight into this video with filmmaking style number 1, which is epic and cinematic. Now, for this first sequence, I want to give it a very cinematic feel, and in order to do that, I'm going to replicate camera moves that are often seen in big Hollywood blockbuster films. Let's run through a few classics. A nice smooth push forward, maybe a slider reveal. It's really important that your camera movement is nice, smooth and steady with minimal camera shake for these shots. This iPhone has pretty good image stabilization, but if your phone or camera doesn't, then I recommend using a gimbal. This will not only guarantee smooth footage, but also make capturing shots like this one, where the camera is low to the ground, much easier on your back compared to shooting handheld. Also, quick tip here, if you're ever looking to make anything appear bigger or more epic, then try shooting from a lower angle and pointing up. This will make your focal point feel more dominant, more powerful, and help add to that epic feel. Here's a shot of the reservoir from straight on. It's okay, but not particularly epic. And here's a shot from a lower angle looking up and pulling back. Much better, a much more cinematic and epic feel. Also, if you really want to make things look big, epic and cinematic, then try getting your camera high off the ground. You could of course use a drone for this, but if you don't or can't fly a drone, then consider investing in a cheap gimbal and extension pole to replicate a similar look. This is a surefire way to capture much more Hollywood style footage. This shot here, for example, starts nice and low to the ground and then rises up using this building as foreground. This footage is looking much more like something you would see in the cinema. Also, experiment with lenses and focal lengths. A wider lens pushing forward in slow motion looks great for these big establishing shots. Equally, shooting in slow motion with the standard lens to create this soft focus background look can really help make your footage feel much more cinematic. Now, if I really want this footage to look and feel cinematic and epic, camera movement alone isn't going to quite cut it. Music is what's really going to bring this footage to life and give it its style. So let's take a look at some of this footage with some cinematic and epic music. Okay, that is looking and sounding great, but let's save all the final edits for the end of this video and move on to the next filmmaking style, which is creative, happy, and upbeat. Now, this style of shooting would work great for a travel video or a vlog, but how do we create a happy style? How do we give our footage a happy feel or mood? Well, music obviously plays a huge part in this, but what about camera movement? Well, for this sequence, I'm going to be much more playful with the camera movement. I'm going to add a slight rotation on some of these shots. I'm going to shoot some in-camera transitions, and this whole sequence is going to be much more creative. Take this shot here, for example. I'm going to get my camera nice and close to this wall and shoot in slow motion using my wide angle lens. I'm going to hit record and pull back. This is the result. A smooth camera movement pulling back, slowly revealing all the details and textures in this wall. And to the left of frame, we have a burst of color with the green trees and the bright blue sky, a much more interesting and stylized look. Now, talking of color, color is another great way to help change the mood of your footage. Shooting things on a sunny day that are bright and full of color will instantly help make your footage feel much more upbeat and happier compared to shooting something that has little or no color on a cloudy already a day. Now, in the spirit of creativity, let's see if we can use this puddle to our advantage. I'm going to get low, shoot wide, and in slow motion, push forward. By using the reflection in this puddle, we've now created a much more interesting composition using both symmetry and leading lines. Okay, let's talk transitions, because these are another great way to help make your films and videos feel much more creative, and they're nice and easy to do. For this first shot, I'm going to use this tree in the foreground to wipe past the camera. For this to work, the tree will need to fill the entire frame. And for my next shot, I'm going to start from behind this sign and replicate the same speed and movement as shot number 1, like this. And when we edit these two clips together, we get this. I have an entire video dedicated to in-camera transitions. I will link it below. Okay, moving on to our final film style, which is dramatic and suspenseful. Okay, now let's really mix things up and do something completely different. Now, for this final sequence, I really want to create a very dramatic and suspenseful feel. And I'm going to do this by shooting everything handheld at eye level, very shaky. Now, quick disclaimer, you're going to look like a complete nutcase shooting this, but I promise it will all make sense when you see the final edit. Take this shot here, for example. I'm going to hit record and then run through these trees, pointing my camera left, right, up, down. I'm going to keep going for around about 10 seconds. Now, music is so important for this one, because when we combine this shaky style of shooting with the right type of music, we get a very dramatic and suspenseful feel. Let's take a look. This style of shooting will make it feel much more raw, and shooting in this POV style or point of view perspective will help put the audience deep in the action of whatever is unfolding. Now, if you want to add another layer of intrigue to this style of shooting, then try adding some sound effects. You could add a heartbeat getting faster, for example. You could add gunshot sound effects. This would make it feel really suspenseful. The possibilities are endless when it comes to camera movement, music, and sound effects. Making just a few minor tweaks in how you shoot and edit can dramatically change the look, feel, and mood of your footage. Okay, I'm now going to capture a few more shots where I'm running through different environments and the camera is moving quickly and shaking all over the place, and I'm going to end this sequence on the top of this reservoir. Same again, fast moving, shaky footage, only this time I'm going to add visual effects as well as sound effects and music to the final shot. Music is such a crucial part to giving these final sequences their style. If you're looking for some of the best royalty-free music there is out there, then I highly recommend checking out Epidemic Sound. I've been using Epidemic Sound for years. Not only does it have some of the best music, but they also have a huge sound effects library which I use all the time. The music is all archived, so it's nice and easy to find. They have albums based on the mood, genre, or the theme that you're looking for. They also have this really great feature where if you find a track that you like, you can then hit similar, and this will take you to a list of songs that are similar to what you're looking for. This is a huge time saver and comes in really, really useful. They also offer the option of not only downloading the full song, but individual elements of that song. They call these stems. I use these all the time. So let's imagine for a second that you found a track that you like this one here. Okay, yeah, not bad, right? But what if those lyrics are a little bit distracting? Let's strip this track back and start from the beginning. Let's cue the drums. Nice. Okay, now let's cue the bass. Perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Having the ability to customize a track this way is one of the best ways to make your videos sound much more unique. They also offer different licenses depending on whether you're using the music for personal or commercial use, so you can pretty much tailor it to your needs. But by far the best thing to do if you haven't used Epidemic Sound yet is to sign up for the free trial using my link in the description below and see what you think. I signed up for my free trial 5 years ago and I've been using them ever since. Honestly, I cannot recommend them enough. Thank you, Epidemic Sound, for sponsoring this video. Okay, so we've now shot all 3 sequences, all with completely different styles. Now let's edit all of these sequences together using music and sound effects, starting with the epic and cinematic edit. Okay, Okay, so what do you think? Pretty epic and cinematic, right? But now let's change the mood. Let's take a look at the more creative, happier, upbeat edit and see how it compares. Okay, definitely a happier, more upbeat edit, that one. Hopefully these examples are showing you just what difference music and camera movement can have on your footage. But now let's take a look at the final sequence, the dramatic and suspenseful one. This one's got everything: music, sound effects, visual effects, the works. Let's take a look. So what did you think? Those were three completely different sequences, all shot at the same location on the same day by the same person, but all looked completely different. That is the power of editing. Your music, camera movement, and editing style are so important. As videographers and filmmakers, we have the ability to create whatever style or mood we like, so take advantage of it. If you found this video useful, do let me know by giving it the old thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this, learn more about video production, you can do that by watching one of my other videos just over there. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.